Hello everyone, I am Siddharthan. In this video, let's understand how we can connect to a MongoDB server from Python and import the data from a MongoDB database. So this will be the agenda for today's video and let's get started. So I assume that you already have Jupyter Notebook and MongoDB. So if not, you can refer to my previous videos. I'll give those links in this video description. You can check that out. So in the installation video, we have installed MongoDB server and MongoDB Compass and also downloaded some sample database and saved that in our MongoDB database. So once those things are done, we can work on this Python integration. So the first thing that we need to do is make sure that MongoDB server is running. So for that, if you are on Windows, you can start the MongoDB server from your command prompt. So go to your Windows search and search for command prompt. So we should open this command prompt as administrator. So this commands won't work when you just open this command prompt as such. So it needs to run on an elevated permission level. So I'll run this as administrator. So I'll search for command prompt. So here either you can run as administrator or right click here and go in this particular option, run as administrator. So click on yes. And here you can say net start MongoDB. So if it's already running, it would say that it's already running. So you can skip this step. So net start MongoDB where M and this DB should be in uppercase letter. So and press enter. So it would say that this MongoDB server is starting and it has started successfully. So now maybe let's also look at the data. So how the data is looking like using this MongoDB Compass, which is a graphic user interface for accessing this data. So here we have already add this connection. If not, I can show you. I'll just like remove this connection and I'll click on this add new connection. So this is the localhost URL. So the default port is 27017 and the host is localhost and this is a URI. So you can choose a color if you want. So maybe I'll choose red and click on this connect. So this is going to connect to my database. Okay, so we have this admin config local and sample database. So this sample database and this folder thing is what is we call a collection, and this as the sample data that we have downloaded that has like this many number of documents or data points. Okay, so let's try to create a different collection and connect to the database, insert one data point to that. So let's do that. So here I'll right click here, or I can click on this thing. So we are on this localhost server and within this sample database, so you have this plus symbol, right? So that's to create a collection. So that would create another folder here, and here I'll say sample data, sample underscore data, create collection. So this particular collection doesn't have any data, as you can see. So now let's connect to this collection via Python and put some data to it. So I'll open my Jupyter notebook. So the library that we are going to need is PyMongo. So I'll go to Google and search for PyMongo, PYPA. So from this pip install command, you can install this PyMongo library. So the latest version is 4.9.1. So you can copy this pip install command, open your Jupyter notebook, put an exclamatory mark to say that this is a command and run this with shift enter, or you can press this run button as well. So this is going to install PyMongo library. So I have already installed this. So this is saying the requirements already satisfied. So the next step is from PyMongo import Mongo client. Okay, so run this cell. So we have imported this Mongo client and we will pass the credential to this Mongo client. So create a variable as client is equal to Mongo client, and within this we can give that URI that we have just seen, which is MongoDB colon double forward slash localhost colon 27017. So if you are connecting to a different MongoDB server that's remote, or if it's on some cloud EC2 or somewhere, you can give that particular host details, password, username, and so on. So for us, it's running on localhost. So I can just give this same URI. So localhost 27017 with this MongoDB thing. So I'll run this. So now we have to specify the database that we want to connect to. So let's say that we want to connect to this sample database and sample data collection. So we can do that by saying DB, which stands for database, is equal to client. So which is the client that we have created here, the MongoDB client. And within the square brackets, within double quotes, say the database name, which is sample underscore database. So let's say sample database. This should be an underscore I'll run this. So this will load that particular DB. And for collection, so we have two collections there, right? So collection is equal to one collection is your Airbnb and the other one is sample data that doesn't have any data in it. So I'll say collection is equal to DB. So DB, and within this code say sample data, the collection name which is sample data, sample underscore data, close your double quotes and your square brackets. So first we are importing this Mongo client, and in this Mongo client we are passing the DB URI, and then we are saying DB is equal to client sample database and collection is equal to DB of sample data. So for DB we need to locate it from the client, and for collection we have to locate it from DB further. So I'll run this. So now we need to let's say add a document to it. So I'll say document is equal to, you can store JSON kind of objects to this collections. I'll say name is equal to John Doe, and then age is equal to, again you can use any name. John Doe is like kind of an unidentified name, so that's why we are using here. So that doesn't, I mean that's not important at all. So age I'll say 35, and occupation, let's say a teacher. Let's say that this is the data point or the document that we want to add it. So it's not in row and columns, but it's in the form of a key value pair, right? So we have name, age, and occupation as the key, and then we have like three values associated to it. Or we can put this as integer as well, so that should be also okay. So I'll run this. So this is basically a dictionary. So to insert this dictionary as a JSON in MongoDB, you can say collection, because you need to mention the collection to which you need to import this. So collection is equal, sorry, collection dot insert one. So we are going to insert this one particular data point, and within that pass this variable name which is document. Run this. So insert one result, and the object ID it has created this as the ID, and acknowledge is equal to true. So now I can come back to my MongoDB compass. So here you're not seeing this, you see anything here. So I can refresh this. So you can click on this localhost 3 dots and click on this refresh database and close this sample data, and again open this. You would see that particular thing. So we have John Doe, object ID is this, age 35, occupation is teacher. So this is how we can work on it. So now let's say how we can extract a data point. So let's say that we want to extract the data points, or basically the document wherever the name is John Doe. So in order to do that, you can say maybe this is for extract data from MongoDB collections. I can say result is equal to collection dot find underscore one, and within this I can say locate the name. So the name should be John Doe. Again, there are several conditions that you can use. Let's say the age should be between this range, the occupation would be this list of occupations, and so on. But let's just consider a simple example of John Doe. So we are basically looking at this collection and asking it to find one data point where the name is John Doe, and then you can print the result. So it would give you the result as object ID 477, the one ending with that, which is this one, and the name is John Doe, age 35, teacher, and so on. So this is how you can connect to a MongoDB collection via a database and extract the data. So here, this is what we have done. So first we have installed PyMongo, use this MongoDB client connected to the server, and then from there we have connected to the database and specific collection and inserted one data point, and then we have also found the data point with this name. So in the previous videos, we have seen how you can load the sample data and locate all the data points where the maximum nights is 365. So you can maybe write some queries like this. So instead of find one, you can use this one. So name John Doe, you can use different queries to work with that particular database as well. So I hope everyone is clear until these steps. So please try this code. This is like pretty easy and simple stuff. So that is all from my side, and I'll see you in the next upload. Thanks for watching.